Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SCORCH, which, if I can remember this properly, is Stock Car Online Racing Championship. I think. I've definitely got that right, anyway. And tonight we have, I would have said a magnificent 7, but they're not magnificent and there's only 6 of them. So, but they're going to be doing 60 laps. This is going to be quite interesting, isn't it?
Sure is.
I mean, the thing is, when you've got 6 like this, you just want to stay in a pack, don't you? If they work together...
You need the slipstream, man.
Yeah, because the minute you lose it, you're done. And that's why I'd look at this and I think, you know, in all fairness, if you're gonna do it, then you know, we've got 60 laps here to go. Might seem a lot, but it'll pass pretty quickly, I think. Because what is it? What's an average lap? Can you do 40 odds?
55s.
Oh right, what am I mixing up? What's the 40s? Oh, that's probably Indianapolis, isn't it?
Might be just a different car, to be fair.
Yeah, true. Yeah, probably is. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, because this is the RTR, isn't it, rather than the Ford, the Fusion or whatever it is. This will be interesting. Obviously, we have no. Well, we do have qualifying, but that's going to be interesting. At the moment, nobody wants to come out.
I've heard people going out. Look,
you can't see anyone, can you?
Camera just doesn't want to show them. Just right
Oh, we got Senna there. Yeah, you can see.
Napoli and Senna.
Yeah, you can see there. That'll be quite fun. Well, like I say, the qualifying again. You want to go out in pairs, don't you? To give each other a slipstream just to try and get a decent time under your belt. Because otherwise, it's probably not going to happen so good. I wouldn't have thought. I think we got some viewers. I think it came up on my screen saying I think we had 3 people watching. So I'm just going to try and get it up on my PC, but I will actually unmute my speakers just in case it comes back through. Otherwise, we'll have the 2 things there. But yeah, for those of you who are watching and you don't know who we are, I am Motormouth, so-called because I am, really. And I have my faithful, I would have said my faithful sidekick, Kenny Shep, whose name was coined for no apparent reason, allegedly. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, so it was Senna's not. All over the place.
I think, like I say, I think he's pretty new to this game. I think he's pretty new to it, full stop. So I think it might take him a bit of time. Hopefully Max Mr. DiNapoli can do well because he's my teammate. So hopefully he can do all right. We could do with the points, I think. I think we could do with a lot of things. It'd just be interesting to see.
Second round.
Yeah, it'd just be interesting to see who puts what down to begin with. Because you get some people who like to hug the wall because they think it's more aerodynamic. I don't, for what it's worth, but I suppose the air pushes back against the car, doesn't it? In theory. Because it's kind of squashed against the wall.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think it makes any difference on here. It might do in real life, but...
Yeah, that's what they reckon anyway. I'm that sad. I do watch some of this sometimes. And they, you know, the airflow, because of the wall, if you've got a load of cars next to each other, obviously they get a bit of movement, because obviously you've got the almost like turbulence, if you want to call it that. So there's the first laps in, 57s, 59s. But again, they should get better as the tyres warm up a bit. That's the thing with default settings. I don't know what you do in...
I don't think that the tyres will warm up, man.
Because what
just get colder.
That's great. Because all I used to do, if obviously you can do your own settings, I just used to max out the PSI.
Yeah.
Completely. They're like balloons, but they work. They make you faster. I used to race, because I'd stay up all night, I'd be racing with the Americans when they come online at like 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And some of them would have really good setups because this is what they do, isn't it? And they'd be well into it, and they'd be like, yeah, you want to do this, yeah, you want to do that. I'd be like, wow, that's far too much for me. I don't do that. So what's Mr. Ratek doing then? He's just waiting to see what everybody else does.
In the background there, isn't he? I think.
Is he? Oh yeah, he's out now. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, he's out. It was still showing him in pits in mine, kind of weirdly, which was a bit bizarre. So I'm just gonna get this up on here. Yes, that's it. Just so I can get it up on my PC as well. Yeah, what's it? Yeah, if we can get a bit nearer to that.
Close, you know.
Oh,
no.
Not now.
Then I don't want giving the slipstream.
Doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, you're doing 60 bloody laps. You're not going. Even if you're last, you're only going to be like 3 car lengths back.
Yeah.
And you're all going to slipstream. You're all going to slipstream each other anyway. So, all you need to do for the first 59 laps is just follow the leader, and then on the last lap, try and get yourself in position. It's just like watching an athletics race, isn't it? A long distance athletics race. So they come around the last corner, you can see
people. Wait for the sprint at the end.
Yeah. That's essentially what it's like, isn't it? With these. Well, I think we have a fantastic 5, or the famous 5, watching us. If you are, don't be shy. Stick something in the chat if you're on YouTube. Say hello. We won't say anything back, but you can say hello anyway. So here's Mr. QWERTY, as you can see, taking a slightly left turn, as he will be for the whole majority of the race. So who's this on the back of? Is that on the back of Senna? I don't know. It is. Oh, is that what? Yeah, is that what it is? I get so used to people being in certain types of car and certain liveries that I just get completely lost. Sam says, hiya lads, good evening. I'm sure we will do, mate. I'm sure we will. Pity you couldn't join us, but hey ho, there's always next time, mate. But it should be good fun. Unless somebody gets a bit twitchy, in which case it'll be like 10-pin bowling. It is, though, isn't it? It only takes one tiny little bit and somebody just to nudge across, and it becomes a something show, I think is a way to put it. Well, let's see. We'll see who does what here. There's not a lot in these times.
Everyone take Margot Paul here.
Well, again, Mark normally does pretty well. Meader normally does pretty well.
Paul Ratek.
Yeah, Palm normally does pretty well as well in these. In fairness. The worst thing is keeping your concentration. It really is. So you're just watching a bumper of the guy in front for like 30 laps. And it's just... Before I ever tried doing it, and obviously by saying try and doing it, I mean in games like this, I never used to bother with it. I used to think, oval, oh god, it's got to be so boring. But if you've got a full grid of like 16 people, you got to concentrate your ass off. I mean,
yeah, it's edgy, man. It's edgy.
Because the cars bounce as well in this game, don't they?
Yeah.
It just looks kind of weird, like you're watching them all bounce around and stuff like that, and you're just thinking, oh shit, please don't hit me. That's why I tend to back off in the beginning, or I always hug the double yellows on the infield to try and stay out of trouble. But the only downside to that is if you do slightly get it wrong and you sort of hit the camber bit, then that can go a bit awry, but other than that, it ain't so bad. So is that Callum? So I look at a green car and I automatically think of Kyle or Mark, and that looks a bit. Oh dear, we're still in qualifying and we've already got the first one. I think that was Callum's fault. We're going to blame him.
Yeah, definitely.
That's about the fastest reversing I've ever seen done. That was quite interesting. So Mark's the first one under 56. Mr. QWERTY's not far behind him there.
Are they just slipstreaming each other on?
Yeah. But it's a way to do, isn't it?
Need to try and do, yeah. I think that's what they were trying to do just, but...
Yeah, but it kind of went wrong, didn't
got
it?
a bit greedy.
Yeah, I tried to go up the middle. It's just like, no, you don't do that. Best way is to do it like a peloton, isn't it?
Just push him, man.
Yeah. Just, if you can bump draft, if they're good enough to do the bump draft, then you'd be laughing then. But it's... You get somebody who get overzealous and it's like, bang, it all goes wrong. It'll be, yeah, Callum just said, sorry for that, Paul, my fault. I just saw it then. With in fairness. Oh, what we got on there? Oh, okay, that's just a bit of other chat. That's alright, I was just catching up just in case there's something else on there that I might have missed, but I don't think I did.
It might pay if I was Donati as well. Looks like he's got a bit of damage.
Yeah, he might have done better going.
Back to the pits.
Yeah.
I know qualifying's over actually.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, he wasn't going to have enough time. So it depends whether anyone else can get through that. So there's a little bit of a gap, but obviously by slipstreaming, it's going to make you a second or so. If the other guys have done that without slipstreaming, then that's not a bad flat lap, as I'm going to say. It's not the worst, that's for certain. But it does make a big difference.
Open the wall.
And this will be, I just think for me, the main thing that you've got to do in these races is just stay out of trouble.
I think Ratek went a little bit quicker then.
Yeah, 55.8, yeah, he did. Took another 10th out of it, which gives him, might I say, I'd expect Mark QWERTY might get a quick start, because he normally does on the controller. That's always pretty quick.
To be honest, I don't think that matters here, because it's rolling.
Yeah, rolling. Yeah, true. There is that. It's just for some reason, it almost like seems to put the power down quicker. Probably because you just press that trigger, don't you? You just go boom. And that's it. It's like 0 to nutcase in no time whatsoever. So there we are. We have our 6 cars doing... We've got no excuse. There's 6 of them. They shouldn't die.
Well, it takes 2.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen, don't you? You know, as much as like night follows day, you know it's going to go. Mm-hmm. Somewhere. It's just waiting for...
It'll be close for a couple of laps, and then all hell break loose.
Yeah, it should be. Like I say, in all fairness, I was kind of really looking forward to this, I got to be honest. Oh dear, we're getting all sorts of spam coming in on us now. New dating app on our chat is like, whatever. I don't know where these things come from on bloody YouTube, it's hilarious. They get some right rubbish, don't they? Oh, that was weird.
Well,
I just had a blue screen come up, but I just think it was when they... I don't know if it was when they had all gone ready, or what, or...
They haven't all readied up yet.
No, a blue screen just came up momentarily for about, like 0.3 of a second on my screen. That was pretty bizarre. Good thing is it's on my screen and not yours.
That's a bad thing, isn't it? You're the one doing the stream.
There you go.
Can't hear if you're speaking either, Scott. It's happened already. I don't believe it. 4 cars, man. Destroyed. There's the ones that left here, Callum and then. Well, as long as Callum doesn't make a mistake in the parking thing, right?
Hopefully you're not on your own now.
I can hear
Oh.
you. Nope. I'm here again. Oh, what's happened to that? He's lost the wheel now.
A bit odd. Ah, that's better. Can you hear me? Am I back with you?
Mm-hmm.
Marvellous. I don't know what happened there, mate, but I didn't actually press anything, but nothing seemed to be working. I couldn't hear you, and I couldn't hear any cars, and so whether you could hear me saying anything, I have no idea. But
No.
oh, you didn't miss anything anyway. Don't worry. The modern quirks of technology, eh? But it's hopefully we're all back underway. But yeah, I did see Mark, Mr. Ratek, limping into the pit.
Yeah, he definitely come off worse when he ended up losing the wheel. Well, everyone's all spread out now. Gone again.
isn't it? That's very...
Six lap down, I think it is.
Yeah, there you go, that's better. See, it keeps coming back on, and then it keeps going red on my thing, and I think I'm losing audio off it. So I think my audio's dropping in and out, but I can hear it better now, so hopefully you can hear me okay. We're back with it.
I can hear you for now, yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's clear as a bell. I don't know what's happening. There's something very odd going on with this. If I have to change headsets part way through, I will do, but we'll persevere with this one. But see again, everything's just disappeared.
I can hear you. Well, maybe not.
It's going to come back to me again. There we are, and it is back again.
No.
Here. Now it's coming back through here again. Yeah, I'm going to try and change this headset over. I think there's something not going overly well here, because I keep dropping out, and I think with half the stream there's no bloody sound. Although now there is, so we'll persevere. We'll persevere. It just keeps dropping in and out from my end, because I can't hear anything through my headset, and I just hear a buzzing, which is really, really weird. But we've got it now anyway, so, and then it drops off again like now. It's just gone again completely. There we go, we got it back again. So at the moment, we've still got Callum, who's on lap 12. I'm assuming Senna's possibly
Lap 11, then followed on 11, with the lap 8. McQueen's on 10, Nathan's on 5.
There we go. So I think is that Mark trying to unlap himself?
Kind of, yeah, but
Yeah. Is he 6
Senna's
minutes
all over the
down?
place, man.
Yeah, it's going to be. He's going to be
He's
scared
like
to.
6 laps down, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be scared to get past, isn't he? Man, his damage was pretty radical, and he probably lost about 2 laps trying to get back to the pits, didn't he? In fairness, because his car was like,
Lost a few.
it was ready for knacker's
So
yard,
he's
wasn't it?
6 laps down now. So.
Yeah, which is going to be a bit gutting. Again, it's dropping.
Palm going for the overtake here. This race is a disaster.
Going wrong with this.
Alan's loving it.
There you go, I'm back again. Yeah, this is forever dropping in and out. This is totally and utterly bizarre.
I'll just change it.
Yeah, I'd have to unplug a couple of things, but I just want to make sure that it doesn't. It's never ever done this before. This is totally and utterly bizarre. What I can do.
Alan's lapped everyone.
Yeah, he's probably whooping away. I'm glad I can't hear him. No offence, if you're watching this later, mate. But I'm sure there's plenty of noise going on in the vicinity of where he is right now. I'm sure there's plenty of, but it's early days. Well, we're a quarter of the way in, and at the moment he's flying, but obviously he's still got a pit. Oh, Ratek's back in the pits again. It's not going well for Mark, is it? Bet he wishes he'd done this.
He got caught up in that accident again. So.
Yeah,
maybe you're right.
Probably is, isn't he? He's probably thinking,
He's wishing he did.
Yeah. Well, I thought, to be honest, it'd be easier for me to commentate because he'd probably do better than me. I think I'd be struggling, and they both got penalties as well, haven't they? Mark QWERTY as well, because I know they're both, the numbers are coming up in red.
10 seconds.
Yeah, that's going too fast into the pits. Only slightly, but
I don't know how Ratek's done that. Unless he's just got it because he didn't have a wheel last time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, how could he go fast enough to get through? Like I say, Palm normally does all right. I was expecting Mida to do pretty well in this. So
just carnage at the start, man.
Yeah, that's just really thrown everything apart. Since then, it's been halfish, but I think, forgive the pun, but I think the damage was done in every sense of the word, because it was, some of them were pretty battered, weren't they? Let's be honest.
Palm was slowly catching up.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
had a good time back on.
Well, he's looking
accidents just ruined it.
Yeah,
now he's just slipstreaming each other, so he's going to stay a lap behind, basically.
That's what I never get. That's what I never get. Like people trying to rush off right from the start in these sort of races. It's like you so don't need to do it. So even more so than a circuit race, you just hang around.
Yeah.
The name of the game is slipstream, everybody. You know, you'd be quite happy to be in second or third place on the second row for 59 laps and then get on the shoulder on the last corner and get the slingshot past and win. That's a perfect race, isn't it? When all's said and done. But it's, like I say, there's more to this than meets the eye. And I suppose the sad thing, if you want to call it that, is because we've got a small grid, then if you do lose track with the leading pack, if there is one, then you're going to struggle. Whereas if you've got a bigger grid, there'll be a few of you can club together and between you do like a peloton and just keep get yourself back in it. It's whether people are smart enough to realise that. I think these three are looking at that, but at the moment they really want to try and get away from Callum So,
But like you say with the slipstream, as long as Callum just stays behind him, it's not going to happen, is it?
no, that's what I mean. He
He's got to do.
can just stay there and just
Second place is in front of him. So.
yeah. You got knocked. So, can you see on your screen? Can we tell who's pitted? I don't know if you can.
You know, everyone's pitted apart from Callum.
Right.
And it doesn't tell you, but
no, but yeah, you've seen that anyway. Yeah. So like I say, for him, I mean,
most of them pitted on lap 1.
Yeah, yeah. They pretty much had to, didn't they?
Yeah.
I didn't really have a choice in the matter. So like I say, we're nearly coming to the 1/3 perspective of like 19 laps in, coming into 20 laps. And at the moment, I mean, I don't know how long a pit stop takes. It probably takes longer than you think.
It'll take a while.
I mean, it's a long old run in, because you've got to try and slow down quick enough to get in there. And then it's a pretty long pit lane, isn't it? You don't realise it, but it is a pretty long lane.
Everyone's going at full speed.
Yeah.
Well, so I bet you lose almost the full lap.
And yeah, if you lose 40, 50 seconds, you've lost one straight away. I think it might be a bit much to hope from Ratek's point of view that he can gain, because he's just got battered right from the start, which is gutting to think you've got a 60-lap bleeding race and you just well and truly effed after the first 2 laps or the first lap. He's just basically, just gonna keep going with the hope that maybe something else happens.
Qualified on pole as well.
Oh, well, that's just gutted, isn't it? Everything's gone well, yeah, because he did a 55.8 at the end, didn't he?
Yeah. He's now 8 laps down.
Yeah, I mean what was he? He was nearly quarter of a second, I think, in front of Palm. I think, was it? Mark Quirty, yeah, because he did 56.08 too, didn't he? Weird thing is, I remember numbers. But looking at him now, looking at those lap times now, obviously Callum's doing the 56, Palm's doing the 56.
They're all about the same time.
Yeah. It's all going to matter on the
55.9, 56.0.
It's going to matter on Callum's pit stop at the moment. That's the thing that's going to matter, because obviously.
Yeah, whether Paul can make it to the end. If I was him, I'd probably drop back behind these two.
Just to try and save.
A bit of fuel.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, what him and Di Napoli should be doing is, if they use their common sense, is just swap places.
This is what I did in last season in Scorch. I stayed in front and let people slipstream me, and I ran out of fuel. I know from experience.
yeah, that's an ultra bummer, isn't it? It's just. But again, it's one of them things. You think you're the one burning it all, and if somebody sits in behind you, it makes a massive difference, mind. You wouldn't think it'd
just
be
lifting that little bit.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it's that much.
It's a massive difference.
Because that was all I was doing. I was just, you'd feel the pull in towards the car in front. You just ease off the throttle and then let it drop back a tad.
Catching up to centre again. That's what happens here.
Yeah. So what's he? He's not. Oh man, you're saying that? Yeah. He's what 3? He's probably 3 laps down, is he? Give or take.
She's a bit too twitchy for an oval.
Yeah. Oh, you can see there, can't you? Like they'll all be nervous now, and that's no disrespect to Senna, like I say, but they'll all be a bit nervous initially because but that's exactly what I'd be nervous for. That's my teammate. Don't hit my teammate, please. Well, Max has now lost. He's too far off the.
That's the Ratek.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Where's Di Napoli?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, they're both yellow. Yeah, that's me getting confused. Mark probably thought, oh, Jesus, not again. Probably deja vu. More deja vu of deja vu. So these two are just going to keep going. Like, what are they doing? Yeah, like 56s are all pretty much. nobody's lap time's really way out there. I mean, even like Senna's being the least experienced, shall we say.
Nice. Not bad lap times.
It's just he's probably losing that time by being a bit twitchy. That's probably costing him time and all. Because you don't need to do much to lose a bit of time with these. But I think, what are we now, 23. So like I say, all Palm has to do really is just sit there and then just wait and see if Callum pits and if he buggers it up or goes too fast into the pits. Because that can change everything, and probably will. That's how I'd look at it anyway. Because how many people, I mean...
Still looking for the overtake by Luke, sorry. Like you say, I think it's best just sit behind him yourself, to be honest.
There's no point risking it. That's my take. What's the point in risking it? It's not as if there's 3 laps to go.
The thing is, though, he's not going to pull away.
No, as long as he stays.
If he filled his tank when he pitted, then he's going to be...
Yeah, he's going to be heavy anyway.
Just short if he flat out, you know what I mean? So he needs to lift a bit.
Yeah, that's true, because he just wants to sit there really and get dragged around as much as he can. You know, try and lift and coast and run a bit lean if you can.
Yeah.
And he's in the right place to do it, so at the moment I don't think anyone else is really going to trouble him that much. I think, unfortunately, De Napoli's dropped off there, and he's not going to make that back, I don't think.
These two slipstreaming each other, no one else is doing it, so...
Yeah, that's what I mean. They, even if they're not on the same lap, to help each other, if they did that, it would work for them. I just think people don't realise sometimes what options they've got, and if they kind of think a little bit outside the box sometimes, they'd all fare a bit better out of it.
Sometimes it's better to drop back.
Yeah, and it's because he might make up time better between the 3 or 4 of them. If even just 2 of them will do. Just get, like I say, De Napoli and maybe De Napoli and Mark Quirty, because at the moment they're not going to. Neither of them are going to catch the top 2. So really, what they have to do is try and work that together. I don't know what distance we got. 21 seconds between De Napoli and Mr. Quirty. So unless they catch up with like Senna and Ratek, and whether they end up doing, because obviously you can tell by Mark's lap times, Mr. Ratek, that he's obviously doing those off his own bat with no slipstream whatsoever. That's just flat laps. And in fairness, if Mark Quirty's doing his as flat laps, they're not bad laps. But they're still best part of a second down on the 2 that... Yeah, you're a second down on the guys that are slipstreaming. You're not going to get any nearer.
Yeah. These slow laps, the slipstream, to be fair, as well, they were doing 55, low 56s before.
Yeah, and you think, you might even get more, mate. I suppose it depends how battered the car's. But I suppose it depends who you follow it at all, I suppose, to an extent. Well, not that... I mean, Callum could technically slow it down if he wanted to, but that wouldn't benefit him. He just, just keep running it, and all he needs to do at the moment. I mean, I'm just going to emigrate if he wins this race. I'm going to put that out there, okay? I just not to be horrible, but it's just you just never hear the end of it. I saw him at Wales when he got a P3, so. If he were to win one, I'm just going to go, no. I'm just going to buy some earplugs and just go and live on an uncharted desert island somewhere for a week or 2. And he'll still hear it. It'll be like Krakatoa. But at the moment, he's done nothing wrong.
Palm's going to have pit. He didn't fill his tank.
Oh, shit. He's only got...
12 litres.
Oh, man. Oh, that's pretty much... that's probably...
59, I don't think that's going to be enough.
No, right. What do they burn in a lap, I wonder? Might be interesting to look at a car for a lap and see what they burn. At least that'll give us an idea. So what is he? 59 and a half. at that point. That'll be interesting to see. Looking at how that's going down. They're going to burn about 2 litres. That was a rough guess. Probably be way
Just
out,
under,
but
probably.
yeah, it's not the longest of tracks, is it really? In Perth. So what's he now? 59.5, so he's done a litre nearly. Actually, yeah, might not be. It's the last corner now, isn't it? Although it's just one big corner, isn't it? Let's be fair. It's just one large corner. Yeah, might be about 1.7, 57, 8, 50. Oh, okay. It dropped by 0.2 there. It missed out the 7. So yeah, about 1.9. 1.8, 1.9 a lap. So with 30 laps to go, yeah, Palm's definitely got no chance. What Palm's got to hope for is that Callum goes too fast into the pits and gets a 50-second penalty. I think that's his that's his best get-out clause, because 10 seconds ain't going to cut it. But a 50 might give him half a chance.
I think you get disqualified, wouldn't you, before you got a 50-second penalty?
Yeah, you get a 10, then a 50, then a DQ. But there's not much between it. If you go in like a few mile an hour over, not by much, then you're going to get the 10, as long as you immediately start to slow down. But if, oh Christ, is that centre then? And then if you sort of take slightly longer, yeah, if you take slightly longer, then it's a 50 second. He's taking his time going in there, because he killed himself last time, didn't he? DQ'd, didn't he? Mr. Palm, so he's making bloody sure this time.
I was Callum. Callum went in the pits.
Oh no, yeah, sorry,
this
yeah.
is Palmer watching you.
Yeah, sorry, that was me getting. It doesn't take much to confuse me. Ask my wife. Everybody knows. So that'll be interesting to see where he comes out, because obviously Palm's got to go. Well, he's going to have to pit in the next 3 laps, isn't he? So if he can get 3 laps under his belt, and he's still not going to get the lead. It always confuses me when people go into pits. It kind of cocks up the time ends, doesn't it? You're looking at the time ends and they're all wrong.
Obviously Palm's still got pits, so he's going to come out a lot behind.
Yeah, so now Palm's, Palm's in front now by like 8, 9 seconds or whatever.
Callum's still in the pits.
What is he doing? Can't take that long to fill up the car, surely. Or maybe it does, I don't know. Wouldn't have thought it took that long. There you go, so now he's out. So he's just coming out now, so he's coming out in 3rd place behind Di Napoli and Palm, which, so he's got 72 litres. How many's Max got? Di Napoli
51.
So what, we got 29 laps.
I don't think it's going to be
no, I don't think so either. Not at 1.9 a lap. Even if you said at 2 a lap, that's 58. Take 5.8 off that for the decimal. He'd be like 53. Ooh, you'd be close, you know. If he managed to get on the back of somebody and draft, he might make it. He'd be like I did in the race, running across the line on fumes with 0.0. It's possible, but it's very, very close, very tight. So at the moment, you still got to put Callum as favourite here, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Although, like, looking at the times there, Mark Quirty's not a mile behind on 44 seconds down. So he's not tons down. He's only 17 seconds behind Callum. So that's not. No, he's not tons behind. Yeah, I think Ratek's got enough fuel. Bless him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's a thankless one. I know he's going to be gutted because I think he might have secretly fancied himself a bit for this, especially after qualifying the way he did. Because I mean, even if you took Mark Quirty out of the equation, I think it was about at least half a second or more between Ratek and the field as it panned out.
I think it was like 1 second or something.
Yeah, because I think, like I say, Mark Quirty was a quarter of a second off him, and then after that, it was quite a big gap. Well, he had to go in, didn't he, to fuel up. So what has he got? 28 laps. He's put 66 in. That's more than enough because he, like I say, even at 2 per lap, that's going to be only 56 anyway. So he's got more than enough. It's just surprising how long it takes, though. You don't think it's going to take that long.
Well, it's already down to 3rd, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Fourth.
Yeah. Mark Quirty's passed him. Don't think Senna will pass him because he needs another lap and a half, doesn't he? But weirder things have happened. So my teammate's leading. Come on, teammate. No, sorry, I'm being impartial, aren't I? We need all the points we can get. I've only got one of us. But to be fair, considering that there's not that many of them, it is at least the lead has swapped, has changed hands a few times. It's not a procession because it looked like it was going to be after 4 of them dying a death. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what actually caused that. It just happened too bloody quickly to actually get a handle on it. I have to run it back and see how that came about, but
I think I know what happened, but I don't want to say anything.
No, just in case. Yes, we're impartial, aren't we? Until later. So at the moment we are fulfilling a different obligation. It's only afterwards we can turn around and go, no, that was terrible. But that's all it takes, isn't it? It's just, unfortunately, our prophecy came true.
A bit earlier than I expected.
Yeah, that was way earlier than I thought.
At least a couple of clean laps.
Yeah, I thought we might have got sort of into the 20s before people just settle into it and just cruise. So these two, is that Senna behind Callum? Is it? No,
yeah,
which one?
Callum
Yeah. Well, I say these two are doing the right thing. They're doing the sensible thing. I know Palm's dropped down to 4th now, but they're doing the right. They're running it in the right way. I mean,
I think Napoli's going to struggle for fuel.
What's he got? 43, and we are. I can't see. 36. There you go.
36.
I can't see how many laps there are in certain parts of the screen because it kind of blends into the crowd and the grey. But then when you go onto the sky like that, I can see it. So they've got like 24 laps, 48. Even 48 minus 4.8. If you said 5, that'll give him 43. He might be a litre to a litre and a half shy, depending on whether he gets to. He needs to slipstream somebody.
Coming up behind him, I thought.
Yeah, true. If he can get. Sensible thing for him to do would be to ease off the throttle, let them catch him up, and
definitely,
and draft them. That's got to be the way to do it. Because if he has to pit, he's done. He's the best he can hope for if he has to pit is 3rd, and he might not even get that because Palm's only 50-something seconds behind. So
probably lose 3rd, yeah.
So he might well end up 4th out of it. But like I say, I think looking at the other guys, I think Senna's got more used to it as time's gone on. And again, for him, I know he's not got a lot of experience in the game himself.
He's also controller as well, and it is.
Yes,
not the easiest. On it, but
not the easiest. Like I say, for Mark Quirty, he loves it, but that's why it's so horrible to overtake. It's just like you expect it to be like those great big trucks where it says wide load on the back. you're not too sure of whether you want to go for it or not. You want to wait until you're absolute, just to make sure you can get past. It's probably like the F1 drivers think of Max Verstappen if they're thinking of getting past him.
Yeah.
In a different way, but you're wary, aren't you? Not in a negative way for him, because obviously it benefits him. But when you're on a controller, there's just more chance of it twitching. And at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is destroy your whole race if you've been following somebody for 8 laps and you want to overtake them. See, now he's doing the right thing.
Kind of.
Yeah, he needs to get.
He should be behind him.
Yeah, he needs to just drop down or go up. But he needs to let them past him. Because the others are. I mean, Callum's 15 seconds behind. Yeah, that's what he needs to do. Just sit there. I mean, and he could get bump draft from behind. And that's the only way he's going to do it. He's not going to get to the end otherwise. Because where we got? Because obviously now he's doing that. The gap to Callum has increased by like 1.5 seconds in half a lap. And then if it takes him round two,
with the lap times, but we're like,
yeah, it's
2 seconds slower.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
2 seconds.
Yeah, and I think if that carries on, he'd probably end up at the back of Callum, and then he can just sit on the back of him, and then just coast home and sit on the back, because there'd be nothing Callum could do if he sat there then, if he got to that point. I mean, again, Mark Quirty's not out of it at this point. I think at the moment it's probably those 3 bar the field. Unless something weird happens. You never know, there's 3 cars close to each other, something bad could happen. Not that I'm wishing that on anyone, but it could.
Yeah, anything can happen in racing, can it?
Yeah, in this race. Oh, we didn't even get half a lap under our belt before all hell broke loose.
Just the first corner, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think there was less carnage in the first 30 seconds of the Godzilla film. And that was saying something. But again, now this is the question. Now is, does Max have enough fuel? But he needs to be letting everybody else take the lead. Oh shit! What happened there?
He's just got disconnected.
Yeah. Oh, nightmare.
Yeah, he is. We're disqualified, weren't we?
Yeah, he did. That was just... No, because it'd say DQ, wouldn't it? He's just discoed. Because he was there, and then he wasn't. He's just typing something out. Oh, no. He's just put loads and loads of dots. Because I know he had issues earlier on today. His internet went up, and he just put why. It's like, oh, it's gutting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be.
I'm still not sure whether he'd have had enough fuel, but
No, at least he might have had
been close. Yeah, but yeah,
it'd just be. I know I shouldn't laugh, but it's like, oh no, that's really gutting. That's really gutting.
Mark Quay's round the back of Daytona.
I mean, it's still not a foregone conclusion here, is it? I mean, he's going to put him under pressure now, isn't he? If I was Mark, I would just sit there. I wouldn't even make any effort whatsoever to overtake, because I would just want to.
There's a difference in fuel there.
Yeah, I just want to make Callum nervous, rather than go in front of him. I know Mark's got a penalty, so he's probably thinking of that, but he's still better off sitting behind. Because at the moment, I always think in this type of racing, the car behind is the one who's got holding all the aces. They can dictate when they want to go past you. Because you can't have any slipstream out the front, can you? So what are we now? 42. I don't know. What's?
Close on fuel.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at now. I don't think he's got enough. Not if he does.
Well, it's the same as Napoli, isn't
Yeah.
it, really?
18,
But if you had about
36, 36, 3.6. 33 and a bit. He's about 3 litres shy, which has got to be a lap and a bit, isn't it? Because it's 1.9, about 1.819 a lap. So he's about a lap and a half short. So he needs to be
I don't know if
drafted.
Callum's got some damage or something, but he's drafting back somehow.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be. Although you can't see anything, but then again, that's not. I mean, Mark's car looks battered, but he needs to be letting Callum in front of him.
Yeah.
Because unless Callum's sandbagging, but it doesn't look like it. But he is getting away from him, like you say. That gap is growing, but that's not going to help Mark because he can't build that gap big enough to cover a pit stop. It's just not going to happen. And again, Palm's gaining a little bit as
Palm's
well.
going to get past him when he pits. So Mark Quaid is going to finish third, isn't he?
Yeah, but he needs
to the end.
But he needs to get Callum in front. He needs to let Callum go in front.
Maybe we're wrong on fuel. Maybe he can get to the end.
I don't think we.
Yes.
I don't think we are.
I don't think we are, to be honest.
No, I think he's definitely. I mean, all the cars are going to be running the same. They're all default, so it's not even as if anyone's more aerodynamic than somebody else, less downforce than somebody else, and all that palaver which could come into play otherwise. But he needs to.
Like I say, if full tank, when I checked earlier on, said 58 laps, and obviously
What's that? 120 litres or something like that? It's
105, I think.
105. But even so, there, like I say, if you again
That's
that works out about
still 1 lap short.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got the first lap and then 58 laps. So.
But even then, that would work out about an average 1.8, 1.9, give or take. That's pretty close to that, because 2 litres would be 116, wouldn't it? So if you're thinking, you know, over that, it would be pretty close to that. So I think that's a pretty rigid number, no matter what. But he's got 15. What have we got? 45 or 60. So he's got 50. Hang on a minute. Yeah. Oh, that's Palm. Sorry. Yeah. It's all right. I'm getting my wires crossed now. So Palm's got more than enough fuel. So he's.
I don't know what's going on with Callum. Paul might end up catching him up here.
Yeah, he's dropping. He's dropping right off, isn't he? Like, I mean, Palm's lapping off the last lap 1.6 seconds faster. So, you know, with only 19 or whatever in 8-9 laps time, he would, in theory, be on his backside. If not slightly before, because if he gets close enough to get a bit of a draft, then that's going to bring that forward. But it's, I suppose, in a good point for Mr. Ratek, he's gained a place at the expense of my teammate, who I'm gutted for. I suppose the good thing is he knows he was doing quite well, so he was hoping to do well, but he wasn't sure how he'd do, Max. So in all fairness, I think generally speaking he did all right, even if he may or may not have run out of fuel at the end. So
we'll find out with Mark Quirty, eh?
Yeah, I think he's 14 laps left. Again, 28 minus 2.8 is 25.2. He's a lap and a half short. Or what's he going to do? You can't build a lead and then coast, because the lead ain't big enough. It's just, to me, common sense would be where he is just literally to let Callum come past him and just sit on Callum's backside. Hopefully save some fuel.
The only thing with that is Callum's just too slow.
Yeah, that'd bring Palm into the equation, but otherwise Mark's not got enough fuel. Callum's his, you know, it's like Star Wars, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. Callum's his only hope of finishing this race, I think. Because there's no way he can't eke out a minute's worth of lead to be able to do a splash and dash. It's just not feasible at all. You're not going to manage that whatsoever. So again, it might play. It would play into Palm's hands and might give us a three-man finish, which would be a bit more exciting from our perspective. But he definitely.
Well, I think on the times it looks like he's going to catch Callum anyway.
Yeah, I definitely will. The issue, I suppose, he might actually win this, because if Mark runs out of fuel, he's out. And Palm's definitely got enough fuel, so he can go hell for leather the whole way. And he's gaining at the rate of knots he is. So he's 13 seconds off Callum now. So that gap's come right down from the 19 of where it was. So if he's 13 seconds off, and there you go, he just did a 56.9. So he's lapped at nearly 3 seconds quicker than Callum, about 2.8, 2.9 seconds faster.
I don't know what's happened to Callum.
No, I'm not sure.
Right,
he's got enough. He's got enough fuel, hasn't he? So he's not trying to fuel save or anything. You know, the only one that needs to do that is Mark, and I think he's left it too late now by burning for the last sort of 8-10 laps. He needed to sit back, but he's not gonna save, like, you know, in 10 laps. He's not going to save like 10% of your fuel that you're going to use in those last 10 laps. So I think he's basically committed Harry Carey here. I think he's fallen on his own sword here, unless he hasn't looked at the fuel. I mean, Callum's got plenty. He's got tons, so he's got no problem with that. Like I say, Palm's got him down to just over 10 seconds now. He was a bit slower on that lap, but it still took 1.3 seconds out of him. And even if that carries on until the end, that'll be enough for him to take the checkered flag. And Mark's like 10.4 seconds ahead, but if he runs out of fuel, he's not going to roll for a lap and a bit. It's not like me just trying to get round one last corner at 140 mile an hour and hope you can roll across the line. There's a difference. And that's why I don't get why he's not. Like, he's got 10 laps left. So Mark Quirty would need, I think, at least 18 litres. 18 or 19 litres, and we know he hasn't got that. So he can't possibly, he must realise, he must know that he's not going uphill. So let's say, I'm just trying to look at that. Again, Palms took 2.6 out of Callum on that lap.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened. I'm just watching. He hasn't lifted or anything.
No,
so
no.
He must have some damage.
There's got to be something, hasn't there? Because he's not. He's literally 59.8. What are you doing, Mr. Quirty? 15 litres left, and you got 9 laps or 8 and a bit laps. It's going to be close, mind. It might be closer than we're thinking here. That's going to be really tight. I think he's coasting a bit. I know that gap to Callum is still coming up, but he's not going flat out, I think, Mark. Doing 58s and stuff. I think he realised, and then he's sort of might be trying to lift and coast a little bit, but not too much, because he knows Callum's dropping off.
I don't think so. I mean, that's the kind of lap times they do normally. Clean air.
Yeah, 57.7. Yeah, 52. So.
I mean, he's doing the same lap times.
That's going to be mad. Let's say Palmer's going to be all right with. I mean, whatever any of them do, I think for any of the guys that were caught up in the shenanigans at the beginning, for any of these guys to take the win, I think is a pretty damn decent effort.
Definitely. Everyone apart from Callum.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So Palm's obviously drafted. That's Mark, isn't it? Is that Mark? Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah. Rottek and Palm.
Yeah. So there you go. 2 seconds now. There's Callum. He'll have him in the next lap or so. In truth, that's a nice windscreen if ever you saw one. Where's the spider? I can see the web. So he's going to fly past him here, isn't he? With that slipstream, he's just going to get a slingshot. I thought he was going to move over then.
Yeah, I think he's tried a bit.
I mean, you can't do that. But in truth, even if Palm sat behind him, he'd swing past him on the last lap, on the last corner anyway. So now all Callum... Yeah, that's what I mean. So Callum should be just sat on them. I mean, if he can't keep up even with a slipstream, there's got to be something. There's got to be something weird there.
Oh, it's not flat out.
Oh, that's not good. It's never good when you got 3 cars. Ooh. So like I say, there's no way that Mark's going to have enough. 9.6, and he's got more than 5 laps to go. That's going to be really, really super tight. Is he just going to try and? No,
he's try.
Like his last lap was 59.3, so he's just wondering if anything has sort of coasted a bit. But if he has, he's too late. Well, I think he is anyway. It's going to be really, really super tight.
Callum's picked up his pace again, so.
Yeah, yeah. Or is that just because he was getting the draft? Because they're all.
Well, the draft definitely got something to do with it.
Yeah, because he's what, 56.8.
It just doesn't make sense why he was doing 59s.
Yeah, it does.
59s before.
Yeah, is it a case of let's let everybody catch up and then see what we can do at the death? But why do it if you've got?
That's the thing. He's already second.
Yeah, you know, if you've already got a lead, why relinquish it just to try and get it back?
He could have stayed right behind Mark Quasey when he got past him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Instead of letting him disappear into the sunset, for want of better words. It is rather odd, I gotta say. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to hear what he says. Well, maybe he was just, I don't know, concentrated. I don't know. I really haven't got an answer to that. It just seems rather bizarre. I like these. So what we got? Mark. Palm 11 seconds off. Callum 12 off. 5.9 and 3 and a bit left. We might do.
It's going to be a struggle.
It's going to be. I still think he's short, even if I think he did do a couple of slower laps, but whether that was on purpose or what, I don't know. But well, this is going to be close. Kind of weird, really, after the start we had. Last thing you would have thought is you'd have a close finish.
Yeah.
I thought they were all going to be spread out all over the place. It was just going to be like boring as shit.
Well, they were for ages.
Oh, it was just like
the beginning.
Yeah, and that's what you think. You just think, oh my God, there's nobody going to be there. But I don't think there's been too much strategy at play. I think it's just been after that start, it's just do what you can and salvage what you can out of it. And just hope that something might go in your favour to redress the balance, which to a certain extent it has for the other guys. Because Callum took quite a long time in the pits. Shouldn't give it him the flashing lights. Trying to put him under pressure and make him bottle it. Oh. They've gone either side. So what, 58 laps? This will be... So Mark's got 2.7.
No, he ain't got enough.
He can't have. I mean, they're gaining on him, so I don't know if he's slightly slowing up. So he's like 2.3 now. He definitely needs 1.9, I think, when he's crossing the line, or 1.8. If he's crossing the line with less than 1.8, he's going to be just hoping to hell.
He's in the pit.
He's going to splash and dash. He had 1.9 there. I would have gambled with that, because he's absolutely got no chance with
2
that.
laps.
Oh, I shit. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I'm looking at 59 and thinking, yeah, he was actually on 58, wasn't he? Yeah, because that was right. He was a lap and a bit short. But he's gutted now, because if he'd have realised that 20 laps out, you could have saved. I reckon he could have saved enough off the back of that. So obviously, penultimate lap. You got Palm sat there. And I think, at the moment, I'd still say Callum's in the box seat. If he sits behind him.
Like yeah. I kind of agree with you. Ratek's kind of getting in the way.
Yeah, he is. Because Callum wants to be where Ratek is.
Yeah.
And he's probably thinking, I need you to get out of the way so I can have at least a little bit of slipstream off the back of him, which he might get that. But I don't think he will now. So, yeah, because Callum would have to have a real good slingshot off that last corner. Is he trying to go for it early? Thought he was trying to make an early dash then. But it's definitely going to be close. But I think, there you go. That's I think that should be it. That should be the race right there.
Last corner.
Yeah. Well, I bet he didn't think that was going to happen after the start. I certainly don't think he thought of that. We're still not going to hear the end of it with a P2 for Callum. It's just not going to.
It's a bit weird though how much time he spent in the pits. I don't understand that, to be fair.
Yeah, he was in there for.
Palm was a lap down, don't forget, and they both pitted like.
Yeah, true.
Same amount of time with each other, but.
So did he? I don't know. Did he not set it for like the fuel, and he had to twiddle it about with it and get it set before he got into his box? That's a possibility. But a good win for Palm. I think he'd be well happy with that. I think Mark Quirty will be gutted, because I think he could have done better out of that. I think Senna's done all right. He's not done himself any harm. It's all good experience. And as for Mr. Ratek, he's probably thinking, yeah, he probably feels like a sewer rat after.
Yeah, but he's gutted.
Because I would be. I'd be absolutely. In the main, your race was
to Napoli actually. Yeah. He'd be gutted.
Yeah, from leading, whether he'd have finished.
I say, well, yeah. I suppose we know he wouldn't have made it. No.
Yeah, that was the debatable thing, I suppose. But all in all, it was actually more exciting than I thought it was going to be. I actually really thought it was going to be like, there's one car. Oh, look, there's another car. Oh, look, there's another car. I just didn't think there was going to be much action, if I'm honest. How wrong was I? Tells you what I know. Well, there you go. Did I really want to be in that race? Not sure after that beginning, because I definitely would have died. I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever that would have killed me. But yeah, that was interesting. I think Meader deserves a driver of the day for that one, for winning it from where he was. And I think poor old Ratek deserves a pot of gold, I think, for getting to the end, 6 laps down, after getting thoroughly battered. How he got back to the pits with 3 wheels, I'm not sure, but he did. So I'll give him some kudos for that. And again, for Senna, I just think it's all good experience for him, in fairness. That's probably helped his rating a bit. So, yeah, hope that was fun. If anyone's bored later on and you're watching this retrospectively, if you want to watch like an hour and a half, I'd save you the bother. Skip to about the last 5 or 10 laps. It just gets more exciting. Anyway, that's it for this Wednesday evening. We will all see you back next Monday. Rally Fighters Round 2, isn't it? If I remember rightly. I've just forgot where it is. Damn, I was just about to say it. But anyway, we'll be here on this channel, 7 o'clock on Monday. So after you've watched the Queen's funeral, you can come and enjoy this. There's no other way to end other than that, is there really? Anyway, have a good night everybody, and from me and him, it's see ya.